Good afternoon, guys. It's 4:25 p.m. So today is Friday, right? So let's start with the pre-market notes. So today's note is also simple, like yesterday. It's all about Globex high, Globex low, our preferred level. Buyers and sellers. Backup buyers and sellers level, and NQ's dream number. That be all. It is that simple. That is what it's all about today's pre-market note, right? So preferred levels and backup levels were already drawn in the chart, which I gave it to you, right, in Discord. So that is all it is. So that's pretty much summarized NQ and ES, right? And now some weekly players are active. So we started watching some stocks, right? And the action, price action in that stock, particular stocks or stock, will drive the prices in the indexes because they are at the weekly resistance. So, and you guys already know all these things from our Discord, right? So that is all it is. So now Monday and Tuesday, it's a do or die situation now. Russell, it is also do or die, right? Because it is right into this area now. It closed right into this area. So it above buyers, right? Short term, below some sellers, right? And now it closed right into this area. So Russell is kind of a do or die also, right? Gold is supporting buyers now because it closed above 1720. See that? And I think gold closed right at about this area, right? So gold is now favoring buyers as long as it is holding above this. So buyers are back in business. So today gold was a good index, or good commodity to trade today. And let's say if you didn't trade any indexes today, gold was the good one to trade, in the opening time. I traded gold today, and I was diverted. I diverted my mind towards gold in the morning, and I was not able to focus on equities, But anyway, I focused it after 9:30, because that's where gold started its move. So then I was in a positive situation. So, I let it ride, right? I'll show you my gold trade also. So gold was a good instrument to trade today, And then dream numbers NQ 568, 537, right? And then let's go into pre-markets, in the chart, right? So these dotted lines are dream numbers, right? Dream numbers are very, very powerful, that everybody, all the members in Discord knows about it, right? Those are the only two levels that are being tested every single day, and they give you a trade, Is it a profitable trade or losing trade? But most of the time it's a profitable trade. It can also act as a target. It can also act as a stop loss. These dotted lines are very, very powerful, right? You can see it right of the open. This dream number touched, price bumps, right? Went towards yesterday's high, then got rejection from our this level 691, 706. See, here I also said, when ES went here, I said this could be the high of the day, either this or this. And 706 would be the high of the day, when price went there. And then you can see it, those two levels became high of the day, right? But at that time, we were supposed to favor buyers. So we took the trade, right? Everybody in the Discord should have taken that trade. And I gave that trade well in advance, so what to look for, right? I'm not gonna discuss all this thing, right? So, but when price came down here, at this 96, that was the trade. When price came down here, 568, that was the trade, right? So it's a VWAP with confluence with our dream number, right? So that was the trade here also, right? And here same time. And then profit is up to you, because 9:45 there was some PMI news, so I rather bail out before PMI, right? So you bail out somewhere here and call it a day off, right? Because it's a Friday. We only do one trade on Friday, right? We don't trade the entire day unless you have a time. But ideally I would say Friday only do one trade. If you still have a time, if you wanna mess around with micros. That is what I did later in the day, Since I was free, so I messed around with micros, but only at the key levels, not randomly, since micro doesn't mean that I have to lose, right? So, or if I lose, it's okay, it's micro. That is not how it works, right? Micro has to be same way you have to treat as a regular contract. So sorry guys, I got a phone call, so I missed the link now, but anyway, I'll try to catch up here. So this could be the high of the day, right? So, and then I was talking about this trade here, right? So this was a long, right? And then you take a profit here, this was a long, you take a profit here, and you are done for the day. Now rest of the things, right, whatever happened after that. So when price came down, I said in this quad there is no point going long again into this area. Ideally I want buyer to hold above 595, but that does not mean you go long. Long opportunity was gone, was taken from here, that's it. You can't go again long. That is what I clearly said in this quad. Okay, same thing for ES, right? And when price came down, I said it may come down, right? That is what I said in this quote. And then it came down all the way up to this area. And then we discussed also that somebody will buy it here. But if somebody does buy it here, 4,000 would be your exit. You can't expect more, okay? And then this was our level here, 548, 568, right? And this was a preferred buyer area, right? But now you have to understand what happened before that. Right, price had an opportunity to go higher, it failed, right? And then it came down all the way up to here, and then it built a balance here. See, look at here, it was holding this VWAP and 595 as a resistance. Ideally I wanted to hold it above, right, for buyers, but instead it's trying to hold this as a resistance. So that's why you can't buy it here now. At this point when it came down here, even before the moment it broke down below this, you can't go long here. Yes, you can play from here to here if you want to, scalping, but you can't go like, genuine long. But then still, because of ES, somebody bought it here, somebody bought it here, right? But then 4,000 pretty much held this resistance, correct? And this area also held, right? See, now it is interesting. So now if you are observing these things, right, now it is interesting. See here, then there was a breakdown here. Right, so here there was a scalping trade here, right here, because the idea was there are only two ways you can go long, either pullback long that we discuss in Discord today, or failed breakdown long. Those are the only two longs to look for, right? So here we know the picture. The first pullback long here we worked out nicely, but after that the day was screwed the moment price came down here in both of them, right? So, and this was a preferred buyers area also, okay? So they was screwed up here. So now you look for a failed breakdown, but the idea is you can only look for a profit next level up. So if you go long here, right, the idea was here the failed breakdown, because it balanced above it, right, and then it tried to break down. What if it fails breakdown happens here? Then price can go all the way up, right? So, or at least up to this same number. So that was the idea for this long. It was around 11-12, so which was right around when ES was here. It was hitting this level again, so because that was a divergence also. ES was making lower high, NQ was way down, right? So based on the divergence, you can use that as a plus point, and maybe it could be a failed breakdown situation may happen. It did not confirm it yet. It has to go above in order to confirm it, but we are playing the idea that it may turn into failed breakdown. So that's why this was a long here, right? And then you have to manage it. See here in Discord I said 560, 570 or 580, something I typed it. So 560 I took this long, like I just came, I was out after doing this, and then I came back, to watch. So I took this trade, right, and then 560 I built out right here, and then I was watching that, hey, it like if it balances here and then go higher, then fail breakdown confirm, otherwise it's gonna go down, right? So but by the time, yes, look at this, the flush breakdown, fresh breakdown, right? So now NQ already had a breakdown, ES had a breakdown. Officially both are in sync now. See, now the fail breakdown idea goes away, because now you can see it NQ break below preferred buyers area sharply. See, like this. If you're watching in 5 minutes, you will see it. So now preferred below Globex low, preferred buyers area, sellers will become active. So this was your first trade right here, you know. And yes, that was this trade, you know. This here, this comment, preferred buyers area below some sellers become active, and their goal is to take it towards hunting level. Hunting level was way down here, you know, below. So that could be the goal, you know. So based on that idea, the moment this preferred buyers area and this preferred buyers area and Globex low is taken out, this was a Globex low also, right? Remember I said Globex low, high are important, right? So now you are ready to trade. It was by the time it was 11:30, 11:20, which is right here. See that this breakdown, right? And ED was balancing, right? It was not trending down. So, but you know the way the structurally it was like a failed breakout here, you know, strong rejection, and then balance, and then breakdown. This was suggesting more sellers are being active. That's why you take this trade now. You know, our initial idea was above preferred buyers, stick with longs, but now the structure is changed, right? So now you can take a trade here, and then target lower levels. You know, then there was a backup buyers area, price sliced through it, right? So there was a trade here also. You know, all these trades you can take. At Globex low, this 80, see 80 was a Globex low, right? This was the trade. You can take it, which is this, right? And then you know you can manage it after that, right? All these things. But there was a structural breakdown going on. See here also backup buyers area. Here you take profit for this short, right? And then price went down further. That means this area also taken out. Now most likely it will go towards this area, right? It's a common sense. So because there is no level in between. So when it pulled back here and hesitation, right? You can short right here. ED was consistently tanking down. Here also same thing, right? So here you can also take a trade, you know, right here. So which is this area, you know, somewhere. And those are the trades today, you know, if you are trading later in the day, you know. And then when price reached here, right here, you know, there were some micro longs also. I took it, you know, maybe I think from here and here I took some longs also, you know, targeting 427 basically, you know, which was, I already gave you my chart, right, in Discord, that why there is a why reason also I gave you in Discord, why 427, right? I think 425 was the level I gave, which is this level, you know. And you can see it, that was my target. There was another level 394, you know, somewhere around here. So my long was from somewhere around here, you know, 365 or something, you know. And then my target was 394 and 425, you know. Here also same thing, I did it with ES. My target was 50s, 51 and 56 or so, you know. That's all. So those were the longs later in the day, not here anywhere, you know. Just because price was exhausted, it's a closing time, somebody will take a profit and price will go higher, you know. That was the idea, but it has to be executed at the same, you know, at right level, and you have to target also right levels, right? So that's the story for indexes today, right? And now let me walk you through the Mboxwave very quickly. I'll show you my gold trade also there, and I think NQ or ES, one of them, you know, I'll show you. So this was my gold trade here, right? So now I'm going to be honest with you. See here, so this was my line 17, 20, 22 area, you know. So basically this 20 to 22 area, you know, that is what I put it in my closing remark, right? In today's pre-market note I said gold ideally I want closing about 20, right? So that was the whole idea. 20 is important. So this 20 to 22 area. So when gold was coming down, I started buying it. See here. So I bought it here, right? Before that also there was one trade. But anyway, so I kept buying at 22, you know, around 22. You know, I kept buying it and then keep bailing out because it was keep going down, right? But there was no selling going on here. So this is not based on Mboxwave, by the way. You know, I'm just showing you here, but this was not based on Mboxwave. This was based on the level itself. You know, so the way it came down here, right, and gold was so bullish because of yesterday's failed breakdown. You know, so there was so much momentum to the buy side, and Mboxwave also you can see it here. There was not much selling going on anyway. You know, here this is clear. You know, selling was like going away. But anyway, so I started buying it here, but then, you know, I keep stopping out here because my stop loss was only 5 tick only, you know, that is what I was using, only 5 tick, you know, I fix 5 ticks, you know. So I kept it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times I tried it, 4th time, you know, then it worked out right off the opening at 930 indexes. This damn thing, the 4th entry, you know, that worked out. So this one also stopped out, see here, and then it started working out, see that, and then it was straight up right. See, my target was all this entry, my stop loss was 5 tick only, you know, so it's like $50, but my target was here, which was 35, 33 area, right? So it was like 15 points, 15 times 10, 150 ticks. So my stop loss was 5 tick only, 5 ticks, and target was 150 tick. See that? That's why I was able to give up, you know, these 4 trades. So I lost only what, 20 ticks in this entire 4 trades. 5th one, same level it worked out, right? And then I got 150 ticks right here. See? So now you do the math, you know, risk reward was way high. So I bailed out even earlier because of this PMI news related spike up. I don't like, see, if that spike up happened before news, then I would have held it up to this or even higher, right? But news driven spike, I bailed out. But then I see, okay, it started going higher and my target was this anyway. So I randomly just, I push the button here and then I grab this tick also, you know. But that was my gold trade, right? So now hold on, now let's talk about NQ, right? So NQ, since it's a high volatile market, right, we're going to do 5-minute walkthrough, right? So these lines, all these lines are my levels, which if you watch my, you know, the previous part of this video, then you will know these are my levels, you know, 462, 507, all these things, okay? So the idea was it has to hold above 595 in the morning, you know. So this was the pullback that we took it based on my regular way, you know, not based on Mboxwave, because there was no signal here, right? So, but it was actually against this algo, right? This algo was going down, right? See here, and I took this long here, right? So this was against it, right? But anyway, I took it based on my regular way, correct? So let's not talk about that. But then price went higher, I took the profit, correct? Now let's start here with Mboxwave. So here price was balancing, correct? It was holding this one of my levels anyway. So it was balancing, right? And then there were some good demand here, right? And then this was algo, but then of the open you can see it, there was a opposite algo also. Somebody tried to short it, right? And then there was a sell off here also, right? There was a good amount of selling here, right? And then so there was no short here, there was no long here because price was stuck in the balance, right? So there was no short here because selling was here, but price was not going down, right? It has to break below this, correct? So there is no short here, right? But we noticed that there was a selling going on here, but maybe effort no result, you can say that, right? But that you can say only after this spike up, right? So now you can say effort no result, correct? So because of this and this algo also, correct? Then the idea is, can I go long right here? See, the question here is, can I go long here, right? Now, but look at this, buying was nothing compared to this selling. Even though it's effort no result, there is no buying here, right? Yes, however, price broke out about this, correct? So it looks like it's a long setup, but then there is no buying here, see? So now the question is, should I follow price? Should I follow this, correct? So since you are following Mboxwave as a tool, right? Ideally you want to see both together working out, right? You do not want to see either one, because then chances are 50-50. Your long may work, may not work, right? So it's up to you here whether you want to take a long or not, right? I wouldn't take this long because it was right before the PMI news, right? Or right around that time this spike happened. So I will not take this long, okay? Even though, and because of this also, right? And cumulative delta was also down, right? So I will not take this long, you know, unless there is enough evidence. So Anyway, so let's say you took this long also, but immediately price went down, you know, 593. So 642 to 593, immediately you are down 50 points. This is not a good trade then, right? Because 50 points you're not gonna hold it. So, but rather, let's say if you really want to go long, and if you know the level importance of 593, this 595 level, then you will wait for a pullback. Then you can try with minimum risk, like your stop is here, 595 entry, at least you have only 25 point stop, right? So it's a good risk reward situation here, right? But anyway, let's say either one, you took this and you put your stop that much lower, you know, like maybe 100 point stop, and then you took it, right, and then price went higher. At this point in time, you know, right here, by looking at this, right, let's say you took a long here, you put your stop 100 point below, right, and now you are looking for a moon on Friday, right, because if you put 100 point stop, at least you are targeting 200 point up move. That means you are targeting 640 to 840. Does it make sense on Friday? No. You know, ideally it does not make sense. By looking at this sell off right after open, this long does not make sense at all, unless you took a pullback with 25 point stop and then you are looking for 50 point ride up. It makes sense, like 600 to 650 even, right? This high, you have a good 2 to 1 risk reward. See my point? So you have to do all this calculation, you know, upfront before even blindly trading these things, right? But anyway, regardless of whatever you did, then price went higher and suddenly price came down, right? At this point in time, when price came down here, hold on, like this, right? What are you thinking? You have to think through it. The damn thing went higher, everything was, you know, looks like this was a breakout and price went higher and suddenly this happened. Now whatever Rakesh was saying here, see, it makes sense. Because of this, no buying, now this thing happened. Now the chances are, see, price is respecting this selling, price was not respecting this buying. See that? So now price and this selling are in sync. This was a fake buying to me, you know. Now you look next candle, now you look, see, so 1 2 3 4 straight down, more supply, right? Now selling came here also, correct? But then the damn delta, see, damn these things, you know, this supply was not enough, price came straight into this good support, right? And then this was minus 70. So now the question is, should I short here because it broke below this low, or should I go long here? But then long you can't go based on this divergence, you know. Yes, supply is less, but look at this selling, you know, something is off, you know. I can't trade these things, right? So I have to wait. So let's wait now. Then okay, bounce happened, fine. But then here, look at this delta 19, right? So that was telling you also that buying is not good enough, right? Same thing here also, selling is not good enough based on this, right? But you can't go long, you can't go short either, right? Then this spike happened and plus 40. Is it good enough? No. Now price is screwed. You have to wait till price to go higher or lower, you know, and then you have to both of, now this buying came in here, right? So let's wait. If there are good buyers, then it will go out, go above this area, right? If there are good sellers and this is fake, then it will go below this area, right? So let's see. So choppy, right? Fine, we are waiting again. Man, damn buyers are holding this damn thing, right? And now I can see a divergence here, correct? So okay, fine, then wait, let price goes higher and then I will wait and buy at pullback then, right? So we are waiting and then boom, now what? Now these buyers are really trapped now, you know. The buying did not happen because of this, it did not even happen, and then somebody decided to short it, you know, and then now we have a breakdown below this area, right? So and now we have this selling also increasing, look at this, bigger than this, right? And this thing is still diverging, you know. Now what? Should I short here? You answer me, you know? So okay, I'll let you think. right? So here it was not enough selling, so ideally it was a breakdown, like similar situation here, right? Like risk reward. So if you short here, your stop has to be here again, 100-point situation, right? So not worth it, you have to wait to see for proper signal. Either this selling has to come, everything has to line up, then price went higher here as usual, right? So at least if you shorted it here, then again price went against you, what, almost 30 point, 40 point instantly, right? So we decided not to short here, right? But now since price went above, we are thinking maybe it could be a failed breakout here. So here maybe it's a failed breakdown because this selling was not here enough at this area, right? Could be correct. So now let's wait, but now price has to make a decision here, right? We have a failed breakdown, failed breakout, failed breakdown situation here. Now price has to either go higher above this or below this, right? See, seller had a one chance, then price bounce. Second time again down, price is gonna take. Again here, they had a one chance, buyer had a chance and they failed. There was no second chance here. Here they got a second chance here, right? Sellers. And this was also Globex low. See, Globex low was important. If you read my pre-market notes, which I just shared a few minutes ago, then this was important level, So now you draw a line here. This was my level though, but now let's say draw a line here, right? And then you see this, and you see this selling increasing here, and this also increasing. This was your time to go short, right at this breakdown, right here. Now your stop loss is right here, which is 555. Your entry is 525. You have only 25 point stop, and if it works out, price can tank, and then you can see it. See, right there, correct? And then it went where? So this was my level 2. So now let me put it back. This 507 right here. This was my level, right? So to me, when I was watching this, price sliced through not only this support, but only this 507 also. Like one big candle sliced through it with this algo, with this breakdown, with this selling, with this selling. You have no excuse, Now this time you have to short, right? And then you target either this or this level, right? But due to this breakdown, most likely it will go through this, You can use this to add more entry to the short side and target this level. These are my levels, 374 to 357. And then you bail out here, right? See, here also it sliced through this level, pull back to this level, right? Slight hesitation, minus 43, pull back. You can short here also, add more, and you can target this, correct? By the time price came down to this level, you can see there is a divergence here, strong one, correct? The selling is decreasing, so you bail out here anyway, right? This is your Friday trade, and then you can see it, price defended this area. So there was a long setup also here, but let's not talk about this, and that is all, So that be all for today.